Good afternoon. Wow. I just kind of did a huge Twitter run shortly before the show. I've been trying to get a few things done today. Trying to get some decals done up for Angry American. More or less like sample type of stuff that I can get shipped to him hopefully this weekend. And hopefully we can get the ball rolling with that. Other than that, I've just, been watching like I do every day. I've been watching, I watch social media and I pay attention to how people act and how people react. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I'll ever stop being astonished with the stupidity. It is incredible. And some of the stuff that I see, I have to ask myself, are these people even paying attention to the information they're putting out there? Are they paying any attention to it at all? Because it would seem that they're not. Either they're not, it's one of two options. Either they're not, or they're so short-sighted that they can't see how they're doing it, the same things like every single day. It's unreal. It really unbelievable. And this is happening. And you pick a topic, and I can show you where it's happening. It doesn't matter. At every single thing. Somebody could speak up and say the sky is blue, and the next thing you know, there's some big, huge, damned argument, 5,000 polls going on, and, nothing but lunacy and idiocy at the top of it all. It's insane. It's insane. When I think about these things, I think about two things for recent times. And the first being flat earth, and the second being the Q-tards. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And I have to thank Roy Potter for attaching a word to it. Cultism, cultists. And that's what it is. It's people that are just absolutely blind to reality because they had, they grabbed a hold of something that they believed in, and typically what happens is not very much time passes and they don't even believe it anymore. All they believe is in the fight for it, the argument for it. Some of these people, I swear to God, they go out and they look, with everything they have to try to make connections, and it's insane. We've seen the same thing happen with the Mandela effect, okay? Same thing happened there. I'm not saying that, the idea behind the Mandela effect, I'm not saying that couldn't happen. I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm saying if you're going to pick a Bible verse to be able to argue about whether or not it's been changed, you better damn well have all the Bibles in your hand that you are referencing. And the reason why is because there's 4 million different Bibles out there, okay? So to be able to find something written in one of them differently in another is pretty easy to do. It's not some big feat. So that's kind of one of the things I kept trying to explain to people, because everything else fell apart, right? When they found out how Fruit Loops has been spelled, okay? That didn't change, folks. It didn't change. I mean, so many little things did not change. Now, am I going to say that Mandela effect doesn't exist at all? Yeah, I'll say that right now. If it exists, it's not really being used, okay? Because why would they be picking your Fruit Loops, or why would they be picking kids' storybooks, and why wouldn't they change things like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the Declaration? Oh wait, those automatically didn't have different things set in them overnight, huh? Wow. So the documents that are supposed to rule over how the United States runs are left unaffected, but they're they're focused on kids books and cereal. It really does. It makes as much sense to me as Flat Earth. Probably the funniest meme I've seen from Flat Earth yet is a picture of an eclipse from a flat earther. And it shows a picture of the moon with just this flat thing in front of it, right? It's pretty funny. But oh man, I'm telling you. I am telling you, it is insane. It is absolutely insane. And the more I observe both sides, I'm just like, really? This you can't really expect me to believe some of this stuff. The group that bothers me the most to be affected by all this is the quote-unquote Patriot groups. Because in a time that we need patriots more than ever, we've got a large amount of pussified snowflakes, period. And I'm not speaking about all the patriots. I'm not talking about everyone, okay? But here's a tip. Here's a hint, okay? Right up at the top of the paper, write the question, am I a pussified snowflake? Okay? I can emphasize that word more if need be. Number 1, do I support the blue line? That's a yes. Guess what? Meow. Pretty clear sign to me. Pretty clear sign to me. That would fall into the category about those that can't even think far enough ahead to know what's standing in front of them. Because that's exactly what's standing in front of you. If you want to fix this system, if you want to fix this broken government, if you want to fix the problem in which the 3 branches of government, which were designed in that fashion so that there wouldn't be corruption, it was designed that we, the people, the keepers of this country, us, not people we elect, us, that we would recognize corruption in either one of the 3, 2 of the 3, or all 3 of the branches, and that we would rectify the situation before it became a problem. What happened? Pussified snowflakes is what happened. Okay? Complacent people. A lot of people say, oh, well, this doesn't affect me, I'm fine. And completely forgot about all their brothers and sisters that it did affect. And they were good with that. You know, and that might be okay if it just happens once or twice. But when it happens time and time again, till now, it's a way of life. It's actually what we call society. That should send your mind racing. That's why it's number 1 on the list, because you've got those 3 branches, right? You got your legislative branch. They're the ones that make the laws, okay, that are supposed to be in representation of what we want. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so you've got corruption there. You know, our quote-unquote representatives, they're not representing us. They're representing corporations. They're representing money. Anywhere they can find money, that's what they represent. Okay? That's your legislative branch. Then you've got your judicial branch. Okay? They're the ones that make sure the laws are applied. Okay? But what's happened in this country, instead of somebody that, you know, actually does something wrong and deserves to be dragged into court for their actions, you've got everybody and their brother that's being dragged into court for victimless crimes. Okay? Victimless crimes, that should be another thing that should send your mind going nuts. Okay? Because all these little infractions, right? You let your grass get too tall. If you're doing 5 miles over the speed limit, if you roll through a stop sign, who the hell is the victim? Must be those pussified snowflakes. They sure like to screw up a lot, don't they? They don't care. They don't care. As long as their position for that moment is fine, these people don't care. But they'll wave that flag and they'll act like, oh, I'm Mr. and Mrs. America right here. No, you're not. You're a pussified snowflake. Put the fucking flag down. Unbelievable. Which, of course, leads us to our third branch. Okay? Third branch of government. Those would be the ones. Those would be the ones that are standing in your way of fixing the other two. So before we can even get started on the problem, we have to acknowledge the problem. We have to recognize who is standing in the way of fixing the problem. So you can wave your little thin blue line flag all you want. But it's only a matter of time. The people are getting tired. The people are sick. The people are tired of being extorted, exploited, imprisoned, beaten, killed. You pick what side of history you want to be on. I certainly didn't pick the pussified snowflake side, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. I do everything I can in life to speak with a soft tongue. Not because I have a soft mind and a soft heart, but because I try to be appropriate. Because I don't think anybody wants to hear what goes through my mind. I don't think I want to hear what goes through my mind. So I calculate the things I say. I think about them before I say them. And then I deploy them. Sometimes I'm successful. I would say more than not I'm successful. Once in a while I'll let myself go a little bit. But we really need to get away from this idiocy that is happening all around us. And we really need to stop doing what the doctors do. See, doctors don't find the problem anymore. Doctors treat symptoms. That's what they do. And so here somebody can battle with an illness their entire life that never gets fixed. And it could be a curable thing. But it never gets fixed because the doctors and the big pharma are too busy making money off of that person. Treating the symptoms. Treating the symptoms. See, I'm not into treating the symptoms. That's what happened to our medical profession. That's why it went downhill. That's why we went from some of the best in medical to now you can't even get medical in a lot of, for a lot of people because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. That's not getting it. You can't tell me that's a good medical system. How is it a good medical system if half the people in the frickin' country can't afford to take part in it? Doesn't make any sense to me. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But see, the problem is, for myself, is because I won't play the game of party line. Okay? Oh, well, I'm on the blue team. That means I need to be for this and this and this and this and against this and this and this and this. No, I have a brain. Thank you. Why did I bring that up? Because we're talking about medical. And every time I try to explain to people that health care is a right, all of a sudden I'm some flaming liberal. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because there's a catch to that. There's a catch to that. If you're one of these folks that want to run to the doctor every time you've got a sniffle, guess who's going to pay for that visit? That person. That person. You want to fix the obscene amount of abuse in this country when it comes to the medical system, namely those with a medical card? Start charging them for it. It'll stop real quick then. Real damn quick. I'm telling you. I heard 9 kinds of bitching when they raised copays. Well, maybe you shouldn't run to the doctor 5 times a week when it's not necessary. I was married to somebody that thought the more doctor's appointments, the better. That's how she got her attention. Absolutely, completely abused anything she could get for free. She was one of them. Raising hell because they raised the copay. There are solutions to this. Sadly, though, you're not going to hear those solutions by listening to a redhead or a bluehead. You're not even going to get good head with either of those options. So it's. I know it's rough. What do people expect from me? Come out here to be honest, to tell you how it is. And that's what I'm going to do. I don't care if the, whatever I was calling them there for a moment, what was I calling them? Pussified snowflakes? I don't care if they're offended. I don't care if the Patriots are offended. I don't care if the fairy's offended. I don't care. Which is probably another reason why I look at everything and I'm like, what the hell is this? Because so many people out there are so worried about how other people think of them. I could scroll down through my Facebook here and tell you countless amounts of things that people, you need to do this and jump through this hoop and that hoop and then do this and that and then share it on your page and mark done. No. I learned how to follow directions before kindergarten. Thank you. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Well, you got to do this and this, and then the misinformation. And it is unreal. Folks, think before you share. If you can't validate everything that is on that meme, maybe you shouldn't share it. Maybe you shouldn't share it. I was actually surprised with one today. I've got friends from all walks of life. I'm not afraid to, I'm not one of those people that you have to fit in a box in order to be accepted by me. Are you a child of God? Yes, you are. Guess what? You're accepted by me. Period. It doesn't mean I'm going to approve of everything you do in life. It doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with everything you think. But you're a human being, and I love you for it. Now, it may take everything I have not to knock the shit out of you. But I'll still love you. You're a child of God. And that's what I'm told to do. From God. Not society, not from man. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that I've had that have the audacity to act like there's some holy being, okay, and they can't even resist being racist. They can't even resist being racist. And it's like, whoa. Wow. So do you just take the entire New Testament and shit all over it? Or did you get some on the Old Testament too? And pardon me for being raw, but how else am I to be? It's time people spoke. It's time people spoke up. And it's time they speak loud. Loud. Because the way I see it, This shindig isn't got much longer. The powers that be has this country so divided right now. So divided. And what happens in the end of this is completely dependent on how prepared those are going into it. Got a copy of the Constitution anywhere? You should have. Should have a bunch of them. Put one in the glove compartment of your car. If you have a briefcase, put one in your briefcase. Get you some pocket constitutions or constellations if you can find one that'll fit in your pocket, and put them everywhere. Put them everywhere. Don't ever have to look more than a couple of minutes for a constitution. And I mean that. That's not said in jest. Think I can locate 4 in here in the room we're sitting. And that's not talking about the box that's on the shelf back there in the kitchen. But here in the living room, I believe I know where there are 4 right now. A couple of them within arm's reach of me. Always. Just like a Bible, within arm's reach. Because that is going to dictate what kind of country, and I do firmly believe what kind of world we are going to wind up with. It's going to be who goes into this most prepared. And of course, I know the government and the militaries and all that way more prepared than what we are, but that's where we have to have faith in God. God told us He would take care of them. God told us to worry about ourselves, to be prepared ourselves. That not what He meant with the whole parable of the virgins trimming their wicks? See, the Bible constantly talks about preparation and being prepared and being ready. Because you never know when that time will come. And you better believe that the opposition to God, the opposition to liberty, they're prepared. Way more prepared than we probably will ever know. But all it takes is one of you. All it takes is one of you that refuses to give in, that refuses to give up, and hangs on to that pocket constitution, hangs on to that Bible, and take it to what I call the other side. See, I don't call the other side death. I call the other side after this clusterfuck standing in front of us. That's what I call the other side. Because who does the Bible say will inherit the earth? The meek. The meek. You and I. You and I. But it's not going to get handed to us. The Bible should have taught us that. Our history should tell us that. Unfortunately, to get back what we deserve as human beings, probably going to be the bloodiest war in history of this civilization anyway. Definitely a little bit of fat to chew on. But I've been seeing it a lot. Gavin Simon's under attack again, not surprising. Anytime there's court stuff going on, all that, John, Gavin, and Kelly go underneath a new set of attacks by people that claiming that Kelly and Gavin and John do nothing but divide people, and the whole time they're doing nothing but dividing people. Claiming, I guess their word is supposed to be enough to mean, oh no, they're not. They said they weren't dividing. They're not dividing. No, they said they weren't. Clearly they're not. Right? The people that continue to follow them, those are the cultists. Okay? Those are the cultists. Those that are awake will be like, no, I know what I just seen. Bye, Felicia. And that did happen. I think one of the recent incidents that happened, I think there was a fair falling away, and that was good to see. That was good to see. There are people that are paying attention. It's just a shame. It really, really is. All right, let me go ahead and run through the financial stuff and the news I tweeted, and I didn't really have a rant. I guess I squeezed one out, huh? No, I didn't have a rant going into this. I did not have a rant going into this. Oh, it might help if I get the right window up here. Okay, let me grab my glasses. All right. And last night I did put the monologue up on the website. I'm going to try to kind of keep up with it. At some point, we'll try to go in and get all the missing stuff put in. So, let's see here. We are at 19 even on YouTube. $19 even. I'm just going to whip through these here. Nothing for Steemit. Nothing, we're not waiting on anything or anything like that. So everything's all in. So we're in the same spot. 5.228 Steem and 1.173, Steem dollars. So let's see. Goose eggs across Google. 29.69 still is the balance. So maybe in about 10 years we might reach up to $100 on that. But now that 19 that's currently showing, whatever it winds up to be at the end of the month, will actually go into that balance. We've got like $1 coming to the balance before that. So, but yeah, it's going to be a good long while. Let's see. And the ad, I think it's still working on the website. Yeah, it is. It's down there. So, let's see. Okay, let me run through the stuff on Twitter, and then we'll close up the monologue and continue on. 4 Russian National Guard servicemen killed in avalanche. New York representative argues insider trading indictment against him is meritless. A Russian embassy calls new U.S. sanctions tied to Salisbury poisoning draconian. See, I thought we were past this, right? And I thought we would get past it when they found out the first time that Russia wasn't behind it. But we keep banging this Russia drum, okay? One of the indicators that tells me that everything with the New World Order is still moving on as planned. Full steam ahead, not a hiccup. When you see this stuff change, and I mean change, then we'll talk. Then we'll talk about how everything's getting fixed, how the swamp is getting drained. But I'm not seeing that. In fact, I'm seeing the swamp getting filled up with even worse people. That's kind of what I'm seeing, to be honest. Let's see. Israel strikes 140 Gaza targets in response to 150 Hamas rockets. You gotta love how they put the numbers in there, right? They do that because, well, yeah, we launched 140 of them. They launched 150. So, you know, all those innocent men, women, and children that we just killed, yeah, that was because you had 10 more than what we did. We could have launched 2 of ours and wiped your guys out that were launching at us, but instead we're going to kill all these innocent civilians, and we're going to try to take a high road. Yeah. Can't wait until Israel's a parking lot. Cannot wait. Best thing for this planet ever. Strong quake shakes Indonesia's Lombok. Buildings reportedly collapse. I know I don't make any friends with my stance on Israel, but I don't care. I don't care. If you can't look at a country committing genocide on another group of people and deduct that that is a bad thing, do you really think I'm going to give a shit? How you feel? No. I'm more thinking about the families of those innocent people killed that you support because somebody traditionally told you to support them. Nah, I'll think for myself, thanks. Let's see. Kremlin rejects U.S. claims of Skripal case, links calls sanctions unacceptable. Well, yeah. A Saudi-led coalition calls airstrike that killed children in Yemen legitimate action. You hear that? Saudi-led coalition. That would include the United States. Okay? Committed an airstrike that killed children, probably with bombs that was paid for by you and came from our military supplies. Okay? And they're saying legitimate action. Right. Right. See, the problem is this doesn't really hit close enough to home for most of us. Not our families being bombed. So it makes it real easy, like, why would you care? Why do we care? Why do you care about what goes down in Venezuela? Why? Because I'm not fucking retarded. Ding, 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 ding. That's why. Because there are more countries on this planet other than the United States of America. Hoorah! Okay, now pull the flag back out of your ass. What's happening in Venezuela is going to have a direct effect to what happens to the United States. Direct. Completely direct. Just because people don't understand how that works doesn't make everybody else stupid. I try to find out what I can learn where I focus. What can I learn? Instead of dismissing what I don't know or don't understand, I see how I can find out and learn about it. Amazing concept. Amazing concept. But we better pay close attention to this stuff. Yemen, Venezuela, you name it. There's a host of countries right now that we better pay very close attention to. Now here's one of your wonderful, beautiful, incredible people. Right here. Yeah. Reminds me of a joke. What's red and blue and peaceful all over? I'm not going to give you the answer to that. Let's see. Anyway, I thought there was a video here. Oh, yeah. I think this is the one I was watching. I think. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to play a quick clip of it. And if you think this is right, if you think this is okay, regardless of the circumstances, I hope somebody pulls you out in the street and beats you to fucking death. If you think this is okay, that's what you do.
A Fort Myers family accusing 2 Lee County deputies of using excessive force, one even pulling out his weapon in front of several small children. And it's all caught on camera. Tonight, we're learning one of them had faced similar.
14-year-old girl throws her down on the ground like she's worthless. Okay? Because her dad's being arrested on probably half bullshit. Probably another victimless crime. It says in here, I just can't remember what it was. Okay? But then, you think that with the 14-year-olds bad enough, they pull a weapon on kids even younger. On kids even younger. There is a solution to this. There is a solution. But before we can get to that solution, we've got a bunch of pussified snowflakes that call themselves patriots that we need to push out of the way. Man. Fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to remember what it was that something to do with, I don't know. I think it had something to do with a BS alcohol charge, actually. Let's see. About an officer. Let's see. Open container. Yeah. Open container. Open container. Right. Open container. Open container. Then turns around and lies and says that the 14-year-old girl, raised her fists and struck him in the arm and chest multiple times before she was restrained. She swung at him once, never made contact, swung at him once. Now, this is an adult man lying about the actions of a 14-year-old girl. Now, if you think it's honorable, and if it gives you pride to defend that, well, you go right the fuck ahead. But when that point in history comes up, people ask, what side were you on? I'm going to make sure you remember it. I'm going to make damn sure you remember. Man. I'm sorry. I even forgot about that. This is some of the stuff that I run into throughout the day, and it's just like, my God. Here's another one. Gotta love that. Right? Showed up at a funeral to arrest the best friend. Best friend's there grieving his buddy's funeral. I guess somebody had tipped off police that's where he was, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Red and blue and peaceful all over. Dozens of children slaughtered and injured in coalition airstrike on bus in northern Yemen. Boris Johnson to be probed for alleged breach of Tory code of conduct. A grad rocket lands outside southern Israeli city of, Beersheba. Beersheba. That's how it looks like it's pronounced anywhere. Assange's lawyers on U.S. testimony request. Offer must ensure his protection. That whole situation is intriguing to me. I'm watching that to see how that all turns out. Death toll rises to 50 in Yemen bus attack. Those are the children, folks, that I was talking about. A joint military exercise, Northern Strike, continues. Apparently there's a rather large military drill going on up north. So Dabu made a video on it. We'll be playing Dabu's video on it soon enough. That's where I initially got the information. I went and found the website where it was at. Lincoln County Courthouse evacuated due to multiple bomb threats. And I didn't learn. And this is the next thing, by the way. This is the next thing that you're going to see. You're gonna see an increase of people that are just tired of it, and so they're going to start fighting back. And I've already talked about the 3 different branches of government and where they've failed. Okay, and it's going to go up the line, and we're seeing that. That's exactly what we're going to see. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what we're looking at for the future. Let's see. I don't see anything new as far as information on this. I tweeted it out when I got it, which 2:42 roughly. So in 2 hours' time, really no more information on it. So I'm not even quite sure. It just says Lincoln County Courthouse. I'm assuming that's Lincoln County, Missouri. So anyway. Get ready, folks. It's just getting started. Houston, we have a problem. Russia threatens to stop supplying engines crucial for U.S. space program. Now, see, this is one of the things I was waiting for to see, because I knew that they were doing that. I knew that there was still quite a bit of trade going on between the U.S. and Russia. Likewise, between the U.S. and China. And when things get really, really bad, you'll see that trade stop, like we're starting to see. Right? Was it not just the other day I reported on a Chinese company that was no longer going to be buying their oil from the United States? And the same day I tweeted out a story with the U.S. threatening anybody who buys oil from Iran. And we'll see where that goes. But I'm still holding firm to what I had said. They're going to start buying their oil from Iran. So the military outlines plans for space-based anti-missile assets demanded by lawmakers. You mean the ones that we put up in the 1980s? NASA astronaut, something like that, asked ground control what the alien-like object was that he saw in space. Kind of interesting. That'd keep people talking for a little bit, huh? I thought she was 15. Accused pedophile priest says the devil made him molest a child. Now, I wonder if the devil is going to help you dangle from that rope. That's. I'll tell you what. That's where we need to put pedophiles. That's where we need to put anybody in positions of quote unquote authority that abuse that authority. They need to be swinging too. Save a lot of money that way. Rope. You know, you can use that one rope lots of times. It's pretty frugal, if I might say. Facebook turns to NATO think tank to police news, views, and ideas. Yeah, that's a grand idea. Yeah, grand idea. So just keep that stuff in mind. They're really changing up algorithms and all kinds of good stuff. They're doing everything they can to beat the truth from coming out. It's not working so well. Seems like I read in a book that that was going to happen. Just a book. No surprise if Moscow recalls ambassador, Russia will lash out against new sanctions, says experts. Let's see. New Pentagon report names Russia and China as threats to U.S. space capabilities. Always got to be a boogeyman. That's how they control you. It's by telling you that there's a boogeyman, and they need to protect you from the boogeyman. And the reality is they can't protect you from the boogeyman. Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire. You mean like the one that they just broke? Oh, yeah, like that. Acclaimed Venezuelan news site, latest victim in Facebook censorship spree. If you tell the truth, man, we're small. We're like small fry, about as small as it gets. Okay? That's the only reason why we've been unaffected. Is because they figure we're not doing much damage. So, let's see. Iraq to stop trading with Iran in U.S. dollars due to sanctions. North Korea praises Trump, slams other U.S. officials for sabotaging peace. And it's headlines like that do make me wonder, you know. I will be on this fence for a long time in understanding exactly where Trump stands. I will be on that fence for a long time. There are certain key things, and yes, we have started to see some of those certain key things come up. The Hammonds were freed. That's incredible. You know, and I think largely that the reason why the Hammonds were free isn't so much about so much how they were screwed over so bad by the judicial system, but also by I think uranium won is the reason they were freed. Do I think Trump's going to step in and do anything for, say, Dwayne Emmer? Or I haven't seen the news. I know Scott Drexler is free. He got time served today in court, so to my knowledge, it's done. It's over. He's a free man. Eric Parker was still awaiting, or he was in court the last I looked. Let me take a quick look here and see if I can give you any more information. Hang on, waiting for it to load. Another awesome thing about Facebook is certain people's pages take forever to load. I always thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see. Hang on, I'm looking. I see video that says that Eric was live. Eric Parker is in court right now. Hang on, let me. I'll actually play his video. Let me get this brought up here. And get it to where you all can see it. There you be. Let's see what's up. Hang on here. Gotta find out what I have.
American heroes, Lord, we bless.
Okay, hang on. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for Scott and Eric and everybody that made a stand, Lord. We just bless our American heroes, Lord. We bless our veterans, Lord. We thank you for this country, Papa. We ask for favor, Lord. We ask for the supernatural intervention of your presence, of your hand of judgment, Lord, to have the final say in these things, Lord. But we just ask for your grace to be in the courtroom. I ask for peace to be upon all the defendants, Father, today. I ask for wisdom to fall on Eric's attorney and Scott's attorney, Lord. And we just decree and declare favor over this courthouse, and no weapon formed against them shall prosper, and every lying tongue and fraud shall be exposed and condemned. So we just thank you for your favor today and your strength and your courage in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
We're going to take a picture real quick. Yeah.
Alrighty. Sorry, I thought maybe that was going to contain something about what happened today. So I still don't know the outcome of him in court. Let me click on his and see if there's anything in there. Let's see. I am not. I was trying to give you an answer one way or another before I closed up the monologue, but I'm not seeing anything yet. No, not seeing anything. So, as soon as I know, I will let you know. But no, that's case in point that I was speaking of. Those, we've got to get behind these folks. We've got to get behind folks like Gavin Simon, Joshua Martinez. We need to look for the little guy, Jeffrey Winehouse. We need to look for the little guy, right? Not just the big guys that everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's where we fail. We're too busy wanting to attach ourselves to what's already big. We don't want to do the work ourselves. Unfortunately, when it comes to liberty, everybody fails when you take that approach. So it's about the little guy. It's about us lifting up the little guy, not us helping out the guy that's already lifted. Okay, and I'm not saying that nobody should have backed the Bundys, or that had Nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. What I'm getting at is I see a lot of folks now kind of watching for their cues, okay? And you don't have to watch for their cues. In every town and city across this country, you have people that are being used and abused by the very system that we call our government. You don't have to look far. In fact, you can probably open your window and shout and reach a few people. Those are the people we need to get behind. Those people. Those little people that don't have that voice. Because if we give the person that don't have a voice a roar, then maybe these branches of government will start to think on a little bit different lines than they are now. See, they've got us by the balls now because we buy into their crap. Well, I don't, but the majority of people do. And that's all they need. They don't need it to be true. You can sit there and tell me about how our name and all capital letters and blah, blah, the gold fringe around the flag, and it all means bullshit. It all means nothing. Because you're sitting there arguing about things that the outcome doesn't change a thing. Because whoever finds out who's right on the gold fringe on the flag, or whatever you find out about your super secret British account in your name that you've got $5 zillion in, and all you have to do is whatever. Half of those people, by the way, have already been arrested for bank fraud. I wonder who it was that warned them about getting into that. The little guy. When they start seeing the little guy have a voice, they'll back down or fight. One of the two. That's their choice. That's their choice. Our choice is pretty simple. Make sure you're on the right side of history. That's it for the monologue today. For those that watch the live show, hang on. We'll have some stuff coming right to you. For those that just watched the monologue, thank you very much. I didn't plan a rant today, but you see how this happens. As always, and we do mean it, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. You part from that, it makes the road a lot harder.